Greetings, I'm your host, Dr. Wolfula, and welcome to my sort of podcast. I'm joined by a guest. Say hello.
Hey. Ghoulash here.
Oh, I was really hoping for a different guest.
I'm sorry.
Forget it. Fuck!
We have a special podcast for you guys during October.
We sure do, Ghoulash. We went to Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios, Orlando.
Back in September.
Yeah, shit. I spent all that cash on the month-long passes, and I've only gone once.
And it was right after Hurricane Irma hit.
It was, but I gotta say, there's nothing more beautiful than Florida after it's been devastated by a hurricane. Nothing more beautiful.
Can we get back on topic, sir?
If we must. In case you live in a place without a theme park, which I'm guessing is most of you, Halloween Horror Nights is a little horror event that Universal holds during October. For some reason.
It's Halloween time.
Oh yeah, of course.
It isn't just Universal that holds these kinds of Halloween events, so you don't necessarily have to miss out on some scary theme park fun. There's also Hallow Scream at Busch Gardens, Not Scary Farm at, Knott's Berry Farm.
And Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at Disney. Scares the shit out of me every time.
Yeah, you got us kicked out one time for causing a disturbance screaming so much.
Listen, I can't help it. I saw some insane shit in there that I wasn't expecting.
Again, can we get back on topic, sir?
Halloween Horror Nights has a shitload of mazes or haunted houses, whatever you want to call them, that you can walk through. Because it's Universal, though, the real draw is that their houses tend to be based on established horror films and TV shows.
Yeah, if you're a horror fan, attending Halloween Horror Nights could be the closest thing to actually experiencing your favorite films, without being murdered at least.
Oh, trust me though, after standing in the lines for this thing, you'll be wishing you were murdered. Some lines take 2 fucking hours.
But wait in line you must. If you go to Halloween Horror Nights, you need to go early if you want to, at the very least, be able to walk right into a house as soon as you get into the park.
Yeah, but we got stuck behind an asshole in the line. Dude let us cut ahead to join a group we were with, but then when the park actually opens, he's like, "We let you cut ahead of us, so we're cutting ahead of you." He saved like a minute cutting in front of me.
It wasn't that big of a deal, sir.
Well, I still got a picture of the back of his head for posterity's sake.
Good on you, I guess. The key thing when you first enter the park is to go into all the houses that interest you the most. Prioritize them.
Yeah, you'll have some amateurs walking in and gawking at the place, wasting their time and ending up waiting longer for shit in the long run. You can't lollygag.
Did you know that this year has the last Bill and Ted show?
And we didn't fucking see it. That's another thing that goes hand in hand with lollygagging. Don't go to the shows.
The shows are a bit of a waste of time, and if you only go one night, then you're really depriving yourself of the main draw, the houses.
You can't go to everything in one night unless you have the rich boy passes, and I don't go to any Halloween event to see some dude pretend to be a Keanu Reeves character. I want to see horror.
The first house we went on was Saw, because it was the closest to the entrance.
I've never seen a Saw film, so going into the house was only for the sake of efficiency.
I don't really remember what happened on that one.
Me neither. There were some duds, like we went in one house called Scarecrow the Reaping, but it broke down while we were in line. I don't know how a thing you walk through with guys in Scarecrow costumes popping out can possibly break down.
It's a gamble waiting when something breaks down, but if it's one of the generic houses, it ain't worth it.
It really wasn't. I just remember being in a barn with some Scarecrow guys in it.
We went to 6 houses in total, including the aptly named Blumhouse, based on movies distributed by, Blumhouse.
The only highlight for that one was seeing the Blumhouse logo crudely recreated on the entrance of the building.
We also went in the American Horror Story house, a mashup of a few different seasons of the show.
The scariest thing about that house was realizing that people still give a shit about American Horror Story. Only 2 of the 6 houses we attended were truly great. Ash vs. Evil Dead and The Shining.
They were both very faithful to the source material and seemed to have the most thought put into them. They even had an Oldsmobile in the line to get into Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah, but it looked a little different to me.
It was covered in blood.
No, I don't think that's it. Ash vs. Evil Dead was cool because it was heavily inspired by the 2 seasons of the show, recreating several scenes from the series. It even has new material featuring Bruce Campbell himself. You can't go wrong with that.
It's not scary, but it's fun and filled with references.
Yep, the other notable house was The Shining, based on the Kubrick film that Stevie King hated. That one was a spectacle to behold.
It really did feel like you were in the hotel. They even managed to incorporate the iconic floor in the house.
You're not supposed to look down in these houses, so they just like stapled the carpet onto a wall while Jack goes nuts.
Well, yeah.
My only gripe with the Shining house is that they really overused the butler Grady. He pops up like 5 times on that thing.
They were really stretching the jump scares thin with The Shining.
Still fun though.
Finally, there were some scare zones, essentially themed areas of the park where you can interact with costume characters wandering around.
There was this one scare zone called Invasion, but it was just a crashed UFO with a few shitty aliens walking around. Another scare zone was the Purge. Never seen the Purge myself, but it was pretty annoying having to walk out of the way of the truck and motorcycles slowly circling the area.
Yeah, but they did have a trick-or-treat scare zone.
Oh boy, yeah, the absolute highlight for me. It was pretty wild seeing Warren Valley brought to life complete with the dead retarded kids, werewolf chicks, and Mr. Wilkins sitting next to vomiting child mannequin. Oh, and of course, Sam. Super cool.
It was something else. So, sir, what did you ultimately think of this year's Halloween Horror Nights?
This wasn't a great year. It didn't feel like there was much of an overall theme.
The houses did feel randomly selected, and there was a lot of filler.
There were very few things based on real classics this year.
Well, at least there wasn't a Walking Dead house this year.
At least there's that.